check, 1 2 1 2. Be back in a moment with y'all. Okay, y'all. Honorable admiration to all my good brothers and sisters of the feather. Trying to get all my devices in order. Before I go in on this presentation of information. Although it, did I put his name in there? I don't think I put his name in there, but yeah. So there's a great deal of information that is called misinformation, and today we will definitely dig into the misinformation. But I need both devices operating, so let's see how we're gonna work this out. Again, like I said, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Amun Rakati. Amuayon So. You know me as Lotus. Nah, I'm joking with y'all, man. We have to deal with information about every state. So far, I have personally dug into 48 states, as in Google, and no better than anybody else that has not traveled to that state. And then there are states that I have taken greyhounds through, taken trains through, in a very short period of time. Then and then we have locations that I have gone to and basically investigated the site myself. Whatever site that I could get to, I'm coming to investigate that site, and to the best of my ability. Um, I can use however method they use or whatever. Um, you know. But anyway, man, let me get this in order, y'all. Let me get this in order. Let me show some images, of course, of as I do every time I come on. Y'all already know what I do. Okay, so let's take a short 30-second break, y'all. We're gonna deal with some vital information. Okay. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Okay, I definitely have an echo. Mic check. Can I get a one? if it's clear with no echo, to all my good brothers and sisters of the feather. I just need to know while it's both on. All right. Yeah. Okay. Mic check. It seems like it's pretty clear. Okay, perfect. Now I know I can do this. All right. Now let me start loading up. All right, before I start, people reading a lot of books, and they I call them reading rainbow. But instead of attacking the person, I'm just going to attack the information. The reason why I personally attack the caricature, let me say it like that, because this is all burlesque degree that is against me, period. So basically, it's about the information. And if somebody puts out information and they are not investigating the information in its totality, anyone will find confliction in what you're reading. And it's simple. It's real simple. You can do it like this. You can go for the evidence. That means if it's written on the wall, you have to go by whatever the person said, interpreted that, man, I'm not even saying my words right, y'all. But anyway, said the word right. So the interpretation that is given to us about what we call megaliths, great earthworks, the reason why they were built are by other people. The people that might not share our common interest in facilitating power on this good and amazing and wonderful country, which is the best country on earth as we stand today. The America, we, the first Americans, the Aboriginal Americans, that is, possess a strong connection to it. So any information that we find that will, support what we're saying is best beneficial. When you deal with the person's whole life story or something, it's not going to fit, the total narrative. So, as I said before with the traveling, that we need to take it upon ourselves to go speculate and observe these things ourselves. I speculate and observe this myself. There is nothing grandiose going on about it, though. But when I drive to the area in the streets that are around this, all the names of the streets are pertaining to what's on the face of the mountain. So if I write an article, a thesis, my own known hypothesis about it, it would be mine and mine's own, like this one. If I write my known hypothesis that, hey, when you drive up this specific street, you will see these faces coming out of the mountain at you. And I can make a whole story about it. So what happens is this. I can still use that information that they're saying about something physical, because you can see the mountain. You might not be able to see what I'm seeing when I look at this mountain. I'm telling you, when you see it in person, it's mind-blowing, breathtaking, jaw-dropping, and all the good things. Your brain, I put it like this. When you notice this in the mountains and you're looking at it live, a good percentage of your brain power dips up in a way. I personally noticed. So if somebody else wrote about this and they created 10 stories and a couple of movies, and then I show you this, and I'm like, well, look, man, they put it in these 10 things in the movies. Well, they're going to say, well, in those movies, everybody is pale-faced. Like, wait a minute. But the evidence is right here. So when it comes to stuff that we cannot show, like I can show and prove the mistakes and errors in this story, which I'm going to go over right now. It's on the way. Okay, so when you find this information, use it and get what you need out of it. Get what you can, but make sure that it relates back to you, relates back to something pertaining to you. There are so many different things that I could go into, but today the focus is on California. So I'm showing you an important part of California. I'm showing you the San Gabriel Mountains. And everything you hear about California is just mind blowing. But as I mentioned, the story may not be real, but I can show you it. The story might not be real, really from that date, but I can show you. You know, I can show you. And when you see it for yourself, it's mind blowing. But what I cannot accept is when people are reading books about things happening, bear with me, 500 years ago. Where's my water? I need my water on this one. 500 years ago, but cannot show a piece of paper, a tablet, a wall painting, or anything that the interpretator, in I'm saying it in certain ways, that word interpretation for a reason. So basically, the interpretation of the person who gives us the story, we have to find their account. When we can't find their account, we have to find out, well, who recounted the account? And I'm telling you, it goes like this with me. We have empirical data. That means the person saw the event and they wrote it down. If the person saw the event and wrote it down, and you investigate who the person is, you're going to find out, okay, this person has this name. So this person spoke this language. So the writing should be in this person's language. Okay. That's the empirical data. When you're dealing with secondary, you're dealing with somebody who interpreted it, whose interpretation is upon their education and knowledge and learning, which takes an age before it even reaches wisdom about the matter. But just the fact that you have to be taught to read, you go through the whole abecedary process, and then you learn and you understand, and you want to get an A+, you're going to want to be the top scholar, you're going to want to be the one with the top knowledge, or you want to be the one that sounds like you have all the knowledge. So anytime anyone brings up this stuff, you want to be the one that says these certain names, these key names, right? And these key names will go back to a language. And then the language, that's the secondary one we're dealing with, will be that of the secondary. Here goes a short example with the hieroglyphs. When they translate the hieroglyphs, they'll say, oh, the Rosetta Stone is how we translate it. Oh, the hieroglyphics on it. Oh, the hieroglyphics on it. Then we have the Greek on it. Cool. Well, who interpreted it? Who's the interpreter? The interpreter. Who did it? Oh, it's a person from France. Oh, okay. So when I read their thesis, I will have to read it in French. Oh no, we have somebody who translated it to English. So then I'm reading a third. So that's first, second, third of the reading. So when it comes to this California, let me read, let me make sure. Okay, so when it comes to this, yeah, I did keep his name in there. I was gonna take his name out, but you see it, Kurimeo. So when it comes to California, in the name of California, you got to deal with the source of the name, and everybody is running into the same problem. So what we're dealing with here is that the word California, I'm gonna just put it out there, that when you deal with the Gaminoaga, then it all comes together. Because then you have the GA, as you see here, with the diacritical marks. Now, I cannot make the diacritical marks exactly as they are, so you can make the right tone. And you can exaggerate the ah sound. So in Gaminoaga, that's taking the mother tongues out of all of these languages that had some of our Aboriginal, rather mixed Aboriginal people's influence, putting together these languages here in America. That's why I use Seneca and no other language. None of them did it. But in the Seneca descriptions, they put a lot of bull. So these people all work together. It's not too hard to connect. But this is how you do it, linguistically. So when we're dealing with the third and the fourth, we're dealing with the trickle-down effect. So when I interpret it, when I'm the interpreter, then that's a whole nother translation of it. Now it becomes my known hypothesis. Now, if I'm going to carry on and just repeat everything that's said in it and not examine it and, interject my opinion, which makes it a subjection, and then I'm just regurgitating. So we can cut all that out by finding out who the hell gave us the story. Who's the publishing company? How much money did they make off of this? Is this in circulation in all the Ivy League schools in America? Is this accepted in each and every single institution of learning? Is this something that you'll find on the bookshelf of the billionaires and millionaires and trillionaires and the people who really run stuff? Is this important? Is this worthless like calculus in life? What is it really, what's it really for? What's really the key that's just so important for them to create this fabrication of California? And who did it? When was it really created? So I find a big error in people who are following anyone who believes these stories. Before I get to the names of the stories, I mentioned them a couple of times. Y'all, please revert back. In the last 3 months, you can find them. California is most likely in the name. 3 different times I'm explaining that and showing that these stories are modern fabrications. I mean, everything. The whole Amazonian story, the Amazon story where it's nothing but naked women running around. You know what I'm saying? How the hell these women get here? Oh, they all just alone. They're the warrior princesses like Xena and them, huh? Well, we all know how that Xena story was. Oh, is it like the new Wonder Woman character? What's going on here? Is that why the Wonder Woman caricature is used in this? And this is just another one of those, or is it just one of those great quotes and phrases from the network back in the mid 1970s? Basically, everything's a show. The whole world is a stage. They make up anything, and we just sit back and believe it. So, what I'm showing you right now, if you can make this out and see this, and if you see it in person, it blows your mind. But to have the mind to know to look at this image sideways and to know that this is what it makes. Well, that's the secret. Like I said, man, all will be revealed, especially next year. I think the information needs to get out. So what happens is the person goes by the name of Kurimeo. Back already. Kurimeo puts out this story of California. He's reading their stuff, and he mentions these few things like the Antiquarian Society, which, if you want to really dig into that, the name is right there in the title. Everett Hall. Like I said, usually I do things a certain way, but I'm just going to give y'all the scholastic breakdown. Because we can always say, like, oh man, it's bunk. That's some Slavs making up some stuff. Ooh. But let's really deal with this and really see what's going on here. And who is this person, y'all? So bear with me, y'all. Bear with me for a moment. Let me get this stuff in order. Oh man, I had the background music playing all through the break. Okay, y'all gotta load these things up. And I'm definitely gonna focus on this stuff tomorrow as well. I'm just gonna go fully in on this. Hopefully I can load all this up right away. Okay, so all right. All right, we got some up there already. So, okay. Come on, man. We need the rest of the stuff to load up. Okay. So, I know this is going to hurt a lot of people feelings who really believe in this Khalifa story. They really believe that there was some Amazonian women running around here formed by the gods, which means that it's all going back to something that's Greek. And some people will say, oh, well, the Greeks, that was really us. I'd be like, damn, man, y'all really want to attach yourself to the freaks? But it gets deeper than that, because all these stories are fabrications. So, we have this image. Let me see if that pops. Oh, man, come on, I need that one. Okay, so I want everyone to understand the agenda in this story. Come on. Okay, all right. There it is. Okay, so this is the person who created the story. Well, connected to the art. Not the whole story. She makes the mural, the design, and people follow suit. That's what she did. She did too in the city of Pasadena too, by the way. And it was a big thing for inspiration for women. That's her design. So I just wanted to show that. See what's going on here. Keep in mind, that's the mind of a Slav. Slovak. You know, Ukrainian. So when it comes to people giving the story of how she was dressed, like they ran around naked and all this stuff, we have to look into who really put that artwork together, who really, wrote this stuff. Let's dig into it. I gotta turn something on. Let's get good. Man, don't be looking like that. You gonna turn into the Khalifa lady on me? Adriana, you know about the Khalifa story? The Wonder Woman Khalifa story. She was the Amazonian super California girl. Man, it ain't no big deal, damn. My bad. I should have said your rap name. All right. Okay, so in the chat, anybody, I'm kind of like letting this build up before I dig into it. That's why I wanted y'all to see the supposed writing from the time. Okay. It says, know ye that at the right hand of the Indies there is an island called California. So they're calling it California. Very close to the part of the terrestrial paradise. The hell you mean very close to the part called the terrestrial paradise, which was inhabited by black women without a single man among them, and they lived in a manner of Amazons. They were robust of body, so they were all thick and nice looking. I mean, how did they get there? I mean, for one, this sounds like some woke. It's like a woke story. Watch out for the next Wonder Woman, that comes out. So they were robust of body, with strong, passionate hearts and great virtue. The island itself is one of the wildest in the world on account of the bold and craggy rocks. So y'all know my last name. And y'all, I've showed my ancestors where I get that last name from. You see what they look like. Okay? Saying we didn't get that. We didn't just get that name. Not a biblical name. So basically, this is the adventures of Esplandian. So is the word Indian Esplandian? Is that the real word for Indian? The Adventures of Esplandian? Is this a name of a person? See, that's what we're gonna really dig into this stuff. So these stories that you are seeing, and even this that they're trying to say is authentic, even that story, they have no foliage. They have no empirical data. They do not have secondary, third, nor fourth. So we just have recounts of accounts of people who were not there. Something happens and you get caught up and you have to go to court and they ask, were you there? Where were you at this time? So whenever somebody talks about this stuff, you could say, well, where were you in 1524? Were you there? Who was the governor of Mexico? Did you see him? What'd he say? You smell this cologne? What's really going on here? Don't be snatching. So, that booty meat. All right. So once again, this is the person putting it together. You know, I'm not gonna zoom in and I'm not doing none of the pale faces like I used to do the pale faces. I'm not doing none of them like that anymore. Just look at it. Hey, you guys. That's what I'm saying. All right, let me get her out of here. All right, man. I'll see it. They didn't let all my images come up. See, I got that one already. Wanted to make sure I had everything in order. One moment, y'all. Let me make sure I get the right slide up here. See, I want to show, even though the sources, it's not really a good source. But here goes one of the things. Here goes one. So after the number 13, see, they got this whole thing. They're talking about 1535, Santa Cruz de Mayo, you know what I mean, with the Kurimeos and all that, and Santa Cruz and all that stuff, you know what I mean? And Giovanni, wait a minute. Giovanni is a Latin name. And it's actually a Latin name for Ian or John. So we got a Prester John-like character popping up here, y'all. No, I'm joking. This name, Giovanni Battista Ramusio, is to slide the Latin stuff in there to make you think it's somebody coming out of Rome. So in person's mind, you're thinking all this stuff, right? And all these things I'm telling you, it sounds all adventurous, but there's no empirical data. There's no secondary. There's no third. There's no fourth. There's no fifth. So all this Giovanni Battista Ramusio account is thrown out. The Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo, thrown out. All right. So in 1921, like damn, we just skipped from 1542 to 1921. Well, it should, because that's when they really started writing and putting stuff together. So California historian Charles, oh man, I got the words in the way. All right, well, I can't see through the damn words. Okay, hold on, y'all. Charles E. Chapman. Interesting. I didn't even want it to go down. So Charles E. Chapman theorized that Ximenez named a new land California, but the name was not accepted by Cortez because Ximenez was a mutineer who killed, god damn, I can't even see that. Baccarat, what is that? Let me hide the chat, y'all. Hold on. Blocking my words. Fucking serious. Okay, Becerra, a kinsman of Cortez, right? So they're saying in 1921, the historian Charles E. Chapman, go look him up. Yeah. Despite this, the name became the one used popularly by Spaniards. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. The only name used by non-Spaniards, and by 1770, the entire Pacific coast controlled by Spain was officially known as California. Spanish-speaking people who lived there were called Californios. Oh, man. Hold on, y'all, man. Let's get the rest of these. Okay. What's that? Don't drop it. Like it hot. Drop it. Light it. Anyway, for many years, the Rodriguez de Montalvo novel languished in obscurity with no connection known between. Hey, no phones in here. We're not. Hey. Name of California, made by English-speaking Americans in 1864. Yeah. Okay. 1921, 1865. Let's go compare and contrast here. We're going to meet in the middle. A portion of the original was translated, here go the interpreter, by Everett Hale. Look him up. Look him up. So, you know, I didn't just make this up out of nowhere. I didn't just say this. You know, is the Antiquarian Society in the book I have over here? Yeah, it is. Y'all ain't ready. So, Everett Hale for the Antiquarian Society, and the story was printed in the Atlantic Monthly magazine. Hale supposed that inventing the names again. Inventing the names. Is this time? Wait, I thought this is the interpreter. How is the interpreter inventing the names in the interpretation? Huh. Rodriguez de Montalvo held in his mind the Spanish word caliph, the term for a leader of the Muslim people. Hale's joint derivation of Califia in California was accepted by many. And I said that word wrong. I forgot to say it. Oh, anyway, then questioned by a few scholars who sought further proof and offered their own interpretations. George Davison wrote in 1910 that Hale's story was the best yet presented, but offered his own edition. Man, it's meta-netter all over again. What do they interpret? What are they reading from? What's going on here? I thought this story was from the 16th century, but it's saying that Everett Hale of the Antiquarian Society, and the story was printed in the Atlantic Monthly magazine, inventing the names. Rodriguez de Montalvo. Oh shit, that's the whole thing. Okay. George Davison wrote in 1910 that Hale's theory, this is theory, I thought this was something that was written in the 16th century. It would be, this is the thing that we got from the 16th century. It wouldn't be Hale's theory. It would be his interpretation of the original, the empirical data connected to the time of the event, which the story is talking about. 1910, Hale's theory. Best yet. Oh no. In 1917, Ruth Putnam printed an exhaustive account. God damn. Well, where's the original? We got an interpretation. We got a person with his own edition. And now we got an exhaustive account of the work performed up to that time. She wrote that both Khalifa and California most likely came from the Arabic word Khalifa. Now, some say Calafia or whatever. Others say Colioli. But they're going with the Califia, which means ruler or leader. That's not even a good, description of that word. Well, anyway, the same word in Spanish was Califa. Easily made it to California to stand for land of the Caliph, or Calafia, to stand for female Caliph. So the person who put that together is Ruth Putnam in 1917. Next slide, please. Yeah, man, it should take forever. In 1923, Prosper, OIS in the beginning with another S, might be Boissonade. So now we got some French stuff going on here. Prosper Boissonade, 1923, Dean of Literature at the University of Poitiers. Poitiers, whatever. Wrote that the fortified capital city in the 11th century, Algeria, was built and defended by the Beni Inferior, what the hell? That tribe of So basically, they're trying to say that the name is connected to the city that was called Cala-Iferne. Or Kal-Iferne. By the Arabs, huh? Okay. And was certainly known at the time in Spain. Today, it is the ruins known as Beni Hamad Fort. Yeah, that's probably a star fort. Boissonade said that the Arab name for the fortress city likely inspired Roland and later Rodriguez de Montalvo, such that Califerne became first Califerne and then California. Wait a minute. Hold up. Time out. Didn't Hale make up the names? Rodriguez de Montalvo? Okay. John William Templeton, he's a Templeton, describes how Hernan Cortez' edition in search of California had Africans as a third of his crew. What in the holy dashikis going on here? Including his second in command, Juan Garrido. Templeton says that the Khalifa is exemplary, goddamn, man. Exemplary of a genre of literature from the 14th to the 16th centuries that featured Black women as powerful, wealthy, and beautiful. Hey, wait a minute. So wouldn't they be calling them barbarian heathen? Because in the Muslim traditions and religion, it's just disconnected to some, you know what I'm saying, some hamdallah go boom, motherfuckers. Women being not veiled, or okay, let's see what's going on. Where are they taking? Historian Jack Forbes wrote that the Spanish were quite experienced in being ruled by Africans, given the Moorish occupation from 710 to 1490. And then it goes on with the legends of an island of women warriors. This is further to let you know, don't believe a damn thing that comes from Wikipedia. But I am intrigued by the lie. Kali Inferne, Paradise Lost, Dante's Inferno. They're playing with y'all, man. So we get these people to read this stuff, and it turns out that the names that they put there, which nine times out of 10 are fellows of the Royal Society, who, you know, really don't want to be held accountable, but will be held accountable, and just tell you that, oh, they just put the stamp on allowing this stuff to be published and put out there. It's bullshit. Now, to my interpretation, how I feel about this information. So, using Gabinawaga, I'm able to break down certain names. Hopefully my thing is messing up. So I have to travel and find these books. California State Park Rangers, early downtown Los Angeles, San Dimas, Azusa. Now, you can find these books at any of your cities. Any of your cities. You know, I was lucky enough to have a mother that was, you know, a librarian. So I had access to a lot of books for a while. So there's almost no book that's from the past that you could bring up that was of excitement, that received awards or anything that I haven't seen. I haven't read a couple pages, if not the whole book. And to find out that I wasted my time reading this stuff, it didn't feel good. It didn't feel good. So when you're looking into this stuff, don't pay attention to the words. In those 4 books that I'm showing you right now, I can literally show you the black and white pictures of places and then show me at location. Okay? Okay. So, this ain't no big secret. If you have a Walgreens in your area, they will have a book dedicated to the city that the Walgreens is in. And you can get these books. You can go look at all the black and white pictures they have of all the cities. You know, so like digging into a lot of this stuff, I had it for a while. And all these books are talking about California, it's not there. And the California State Park Rangers, that whole Khalifa stuff, it's null and void. But this is what I have to say. See, they made these names up because they're creating these languages. And I actually have the names and the receipts connected to it. Again, anyone can go look up the names that I presented to you. The people who are writing this so-called California story, you see that they say they got it from Hale. And then they're saying that Hale made this shit up. He made the names up. Could it be a real story? Could it be whatever? How the hell are we gonna know? You weren't there. Where's the empirical data? So where's the original? If Hale has an interpretation of his own, Where's the original where's the original? I want it. I want to see it for myself. And they're not giving it. They always give some copy of some copy, and then they'll give you some nonsense. And watch out for this, everyone. Anytime you get some information, it's all in that loop-de-loop cursive writing. Be aware. You know what I'm saying? I tried to sneak it in when I put out the, Inkunabula stuff, the Masons and Inkunabulas, whatever. Mason Fellows and Inkunabula. Something like that. Get this, y'all. So when I dug into to the names that's pertaining to it, I came up with Garci, Ordonez, and Montalvo. So all these names have to be broken down. And when you look into these names, it's mind blowing. It is mind blowing. Hold on. Okay, so Ga, when it has the diacritical marks above it, the G and the A with the diacritical marks above the A, it's making the high pitch. So it's Gal. And when you're making the high pitch, the tongue is reaching up to your gums of your jaw. It's making a sound, Gal, with a high pitch. Not saying you gotta make a high singing pitch or any of that stuff. It's just Gal. It's not Ga. So Gal, they couldn't pronounce it right. Now, that's just for Cali and Car and Caro. And when you break into the Gawinawaga, you'll see that there are exaggerations. And these exaggerations, I'm going to share with everyone today. So you have the exaggerations of Kwe. In Gawinawaga, Kwe, Kui, Kwa, Raku, Rahuku, all pertain to woman, queen, but it's also connected to sunrise. It is important to understand how a person writing down words from a language, they can only interpret and put it the way they hear it. Then you have to emphasize with the diacritical marks in order to know how to pronounce it. So another breakdown of queen is Korah, Korah. So when you see sun is Ende Ka in Gali Hagwa, and Hagwa is also connected to Rakwa, Korah, and Queen and Rising. It takes away the whole perversion and lack of men. Like, damn, we already have enough of the no father in the house. Then we're gonna give us this pro-lesbian story of these women running around with no men around. Then you look up the movie and watch the very first one they put out. The woman who plays Wonder Woman, she is talking to the American spy about sex, and she said basically men are useless. The only purpose for sex with men is for procreation. That they have to seek physical enjoyment elsewhere. That they don't need men for that. So they just rub all up on each other and gyrating and busting nuts all day in the Amazonian world and killing men who come. So the story is also going back to that Woman King's nonsense. So we have somebody looking like Nicolas Cage, little nephew and them, cousin that divorced, whatever, that puts the story out with all that in mind, and then to say that the sister was walking around naked, right? But that weird looking Goonies character made this drawing like this. Yeah, so again, these are not my words. These are their words that the person made up the name, Montalvo. So when you're dealing with Cali and Caro, and you know, I've shared this plenty of times. Whenever you see me share the name Tuscarora, this is going to show you what words that they change. When you see the word Cali, that is from our language, but instead of CALI, it's really GA with the diacritical marks to emphasize the pronunciation of that specific sound. Reina, you can find Reina connected to Regina. When you look up the story, it's going to say Oriana. Oriana is the same name as Reina. Oriana. And then it's a play on words because it has the word Ori and has Anna. Then they have Ama Dice. But people who do not understand diacritical marks, they will pronounce Amadis as Amadis when the I has a diacritical mark on top of it to explain the pronunciation. So this is the image. Not naked, but sister looking fly. And has some device. And has all kind of stuff going on. But this is a drawing in the early 20th century by a Slav who looked a little slight on the spectrum side. Yeah. So basically, when it comes to the story, you have Garci, which is the bear. California state flag also has the bear on it. Ordonez, fortunate, rich, prosperous, priceless, flower, right? Then they'll tell you that name was changed to Antonio. I drive over Mount Sac, which is Mount San Antonio Mounds, every other day. They literally put MSAC on one of the mounds. You can drive by and see it, plain as day. Man, they don't get it. So, in Gawinawaga, let me share a little linguistics. When you say yes in Gawinawaga, you say, yeah. In Gawinawaga. Yo, I know some people who do that now. Yeah. Word yesterday. Tay-day. Tay-day. That's how you say yesterday. Yo. East. Niche. I could go on with the little stuff and show you how it connects to other languages when you take it to the etymology. And then bring it right back to the word California. let's really understand that what is the purpose of this. That the state is the bear. They call it the fortune, the rich, prosperous, priceless, and all that. And they say all this gold was up there by San Francisco. And then you really can't find evidence of the gold being up there. But down here, the gold is still here. There's still gold in the mountains down here. Hell, Knott's Berry Farm, they even have a thing where you go mine for gold. Gold is all around here. It's just difficult to get to some of the mines and some of the other places that still have the gold around here. Well, anyway, the fortunate, rich, prosperous, priceless, and then Montavo, mount means mound, and Avo means valley. Wow. So they're going to tell you in this story that Mr. Kurimeo read, the dragons are appalling. What dragons are they talking about? The giants are larger. What do they mean, giants? The wizards are craftier. What the hell is this? The story of Gandalf and them? I'm telling y'all, man, when you really start digging into this stuff, these are the stories that they made up. The magic castles more inaccessible. The enchanted lakes are deeper. They're describing California when they came here. This is not from the 16th century. This is when they came here. That's why I showed those books. Get California State Park Rangers. That's when they came. Lois and Clark and John Muir. That's when they made it their way over here. So when you got words in Gawinawaga that have been translated over, you have the letter O with another O with diacritical mark over it, and the letter H. That would be translated as Hahor. You have the letters E-O-W-I-H. This they have translated over as A-R-O-R-I, Arori. So we can pull all these words out. You know, I don't want to share too much. You got to go check out the pay-per-view event, American Horror Story. So I'll give, a couple more, about 5 more. You have Ado Nyai, changed to Ator Ya. Then you have the diacritical mark O for the high pitch over the diacritical mark that makes the Om sound, like Om. And they have translated that as Ro. So I have found the word Negro. Again, this is the Gawinawaga. This is the languages that are connected to other tribes all through this area. Many people think that there were a bunch of different languages, but I assure you that when you dig into all these languages, you can really pull them together and see what's what. Another thing needs to be explained, that there were 100,000, I believe, that did leave from here and went to Africa in the early 20th century. Liberia was not the location. So there's a lot of stuff that people need to dig into. Really need to dig into. It's going to take a lot more effort. So when you deal with these words, they become important when it's pertaining to our history. California is a big piece of our history. A lot of people may not know that. Well, I want to express that California is key to what was going on. I know many people talk about what happened in Central America or the bottom of Mexico, but the actual key places are all in the basin. There's one in Mexico. It's in this northern part of Mexico. So there's these key areas, 10 key areas. 7 of them are in the Great Basin. 1 is in northern Mexico. Another one is at the Smoky Mountains. The other one is in Florida. These main kingdoms are very important to a lot of things, our ecology, a lot of things. So the importance of California and why they made up the story and how they connected the way they do. But importance is that we have to ask Kurimeo, why did you put out this lie that they put out in history to hide the fact? Well, we don't have to say to hide the fact. Just say, why did you put out this story that they put out, that they made up in the 20th century? That even the story in even the one in 1900 by Hale, they don't have any evidence of that. They don't even have that. And go look it up. Go get your little Google PDFs and everything. Go look it up. You don't find any of this stuff till after 1910. Until they took to the air over California. What are they interpreting? What are these interpretations? What are the dragons? What are the giants? What are they really talking about? I've been showing it to y'all the whole time. So these interpretations of these stories are fabrications, and they have made fortunes off of this part of the world. California still feeds 40% of America. A great deal of California should be underwater. Majority of California is below sea level. Shit, get my what? Okay, y'all. So I gotta get back to work. Get back to doing my thing. Yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna express a little more, show a little more, but I wanted to go over, the fact that he's putting out this information that's about my state. And if you're gonna talk about my state, you gotta check in first, especially, putting out some stuff that's incorrect. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro, this is what's really going on, man. I wouldn't talk to the Tongva, president and vice president or whatever. Like, I went and talked to the Yanga people. I spoke to a couple of other people of stuff names you don't even know, because you're not from here. You have your feet on the ground. Well, anyway, so when it comes to these changing words, unfortunately, Gawe no Waga is the best one to use, because even languages that have Creole and Pidgin, if they have names like Kwekwe or Kwikwi or any of that for women, or a title that a woman takes, of a panther, princess, warrior, queen, or there's a couple other animal names or flower names that go along with it. These names are, very important to our women. A lot of our grandparents and great grandparents are moving on to the ancestors, and very few of us know those words. So I've been pulling these words out because we have a whole generation that is joining the ancestors, and no one else is going to put this out They're just going to regurgitate the languages that have, ill intentions and definitions not meaning what they say or whatever. So when I used Gawinawaga and I broke it down, it all made sense. But it's not easy. See, you have two types of linguists. Yeah, before I get two types of linguists, y'all. You have a person that's going to look up the word and learn how to pronounce it and learn a language or whatever, and they'll even know how to speak it to people, so on and so forth. Then you have comparative linguistics. Okay? That is a very thin line. Becoming a pseudo-linguist is... any interjection is pseudo-linguistics when you're dealing with comparative linguistics. So this is something that took a very long time to really, break down. So when I all I did was take the same words and see if the words are matching. And I found some very interesting matches. Nyagui for the bear. I found Onon Ta Ganon Ni Ajay for Ordonez. And I found Onon Dagoha for Montalvo. See, so I'm not just taking away the information that was created in the 20th century by these burlesque degree Slav and those participating with the Slavs. I happen to know some of the last names. And putting these stories together for entertainment and fabrication. And guess what they were really putting these stories together for in the beginning? Look up the Los Angeles expeditions. Look up the San Francisco expeditions. Look up the World Fairs in California. They're making these stories to attract attention. California still attracts a lot of attention. Hell, the control of the planet through media operates out of California. So, this is something that, I take very serious. So, so I found Garci that connected to Unya Guaehe. Ordonez connected to Honon Taganon Ni Ajay. Saying it as slow as possible for everyone. And Montalvo connected to Onon Dago. Again, Montalvo, Onon Dago. Huh. And that's the sound you make after that, huh? Huh. Unya Guaehe. Huh. So you can still hear the characteristics that we use in the way we express and speak words in the English language, which is just an angelicized version of what we're speaking. Spanish is an angelicized version of Gawinawaga. Now, like I've expressed before, you just go through the Americas, North America, Central America, South America, and the islands, the ones that still have their languages that are from here that have very little influence. They're going to have the Ga sound in their language or the name. It's there. And they're dealing with the same sounds in the same words. Once I get more stuff going, man, soon I'll start showing it. We had one brother show it, but I cannot remember the name of the video or what channel it was. It might have been on Ab TV, where there was a brother down there on the islands or in Central America talking about his language. But all right. So, Key, they created history. All right. So when it comes to them and they and he, it's not us. And they created it for their best They created it for their best interests, basically. Garci, Unyagui, or Unyaguaehe, Ordonez, Onon, Tagano, Ni, Aje, Montavo, Onondago. So Garci becoming Unyagui is complicated. Ono, Hono became Ord. Ganon he Ajay became Onyez. Montavo Ono became Mont. And Dago became Avo. Okay, so when you see those vos, it's gold. Avo is valley. Ago is valley. Again, Avo is valley. Ago is valley. Yo, Ago, Yo, they even took yo from Gawi Nawaga and they put it in Spanish. Okay, they changed the G sound to V. Mound comes from Ononed. And if you go look up in the Gawi Nawaga languages, you'll find that that is the mound. That's another word, sound, or whatever for mound building. People who live in the valley of the mountains. Montavo means valley of the mountains. Onondago means valley of the mountains. California and its namesake ruler Queen Khalifa, which so happens to be a fictional story created by Lucille Lloyd. For many years, the Rodriguez de Montalvo novel language in obscurity, as we saw earlier. These are from my own notes, so I just want to go over all this. Anybody came in late, didn't see it. With no connection known between it and the name of California made by English-speaking Americans. In 1864, a portion of the original was translated by Everett Hall for the Antiquarian Society, and the story was printed in the Atlanta Monthly magazine. Okay, Hale supposed that the inventing the names Rodriguez de Montalvo held in his mind the Spanish word Caliph and all the stuff that we saw earlier, right? Got George Davison, got Ruth Putnam. George Davison, 1910. We got Ruth Putnam, 1917, printed it. Okay? That's the first person printing it. So you don't get the first print till 1917. And this is all the La Sergas de Esplandian, the love story of Amadis and Oriana. And the word Ana means gibberish, means passe, so they say. Tribes that left the Great Basin area, and one of them, again, I try to express to people, the fake Iroquois story is total BS. It's total BS. And that's coming next as I go further into this information and showing everyone who the Antiquarian Society is. This will be connected to the people that are Mormons. What are they protecting the knowledge that they hold? Let me pull up this other one. Shit. I don't want to leave that. What's the name of that? Damn, I said the chief earlier. Shit. Okay. Well, y'all have to hear it tomorrow. It's gonna be some stuff going on with the information and the stuff we've been putting out there. Just needs to be exposed, man. So chopping up. Peace, y'all. Enjoy yourselves. Man. Kurimeo, you gotta do better, man. You gotta do better. I'm on your neck. Try and misappropriate the culture of the first American, the Aboriginal American. I'm going to go and break down the information and expose the sources. You're not the source, Kurimeo. You're not. Stop hiding. And not the pseudo sources, not the 15th, 16th century sources. I'm talking about this 1910, 1917, first time printed. That part. All right, y'all, take it easy. Appreciation, major appreciation, honorable admiration. EJ Cut, Supreme Chief Holiday for doing their thing. Allow me to do my thing here. Peace to the one and only Tasco, the CEO. Honorable admiration to the one and only, the hardworking Gretchen Hale. Appreciation, all my good brothers and sisters to the field that took their time to come out and check this information. Get down to the bottom of this, y'all. Much more to come tomorrow. Enjoy y'all evening. Got little jammy jams coming. This is one of my least desired for me. So I wanted to start, you know what I'm saying, putting out some of my little my summer jams for next year's summer jam. Peace, y'all. Enjoy yourselves. Hey, get the correct knowledge. Peace.